Before the video starts, I am reviewing this before ARMS because the lead developer will actually listen to my comments and find them useful. Thank you, Cold Steamer, for this great mod, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hey yo guys, it is me, K42, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing Bonfire, but today's mod review is going to be different. I'm going to be reviewing this on separate times. So I'm going to be reviewing the beat singularity, and then I'm going to cut the recording because doing this in one shot really just kind of sucks. Because if I have a mistake very late on, I can't just restart. And also, because if I get interrupted, which was the main reason why I didn't film Armed, and it also gets really boring and I get tired while doing it, but this new format I hope will make it easier to review mods. So let's go for the beats. Pretty basic kick sound and nothing too out of the ordinary. Hits pretty hard. The character design, other than giving a little bit of references, a little bit of resemblance to Reaching the Stars from V8, it's not too bad of a character design, but there's not much going on. It's a little bit lacking in the shirt area, and the upper part has its resemblance to stuff, but at least it's a little bit different with the twists and whatnot. And the animation, it gets a little bit boring with like this stuff, but it's not a bad animation. Like the eye stays the same, at least he added a blink there. The eye kind of stays in the same position with some small tweaks to change it up, but not too bad. Let's go into beat 2. The sound, other than the end part, is something that isn't my kind of cup of tea, but it's not a bad sound. It's just doesn't fit with me. But the character design, pretty good. A little bit better than the last one. Compared to other mods, it's a bit lacking, but I retract my statement on the first one. That is a good thing. We do not want overly complex designs. We need more Incredibox style mods where they keep the designs nice and simplistic, exactly how, Incredibox would. Unfortunately, 42 edition won't have that because Pixel's just too good of a character designer, but the animation where it goes to like left and right during like the it kind of looks like a mistake that you'd find in like a sprite that would just like move when you don't want it to move. I feel like that is an unneeded detail, and it just doesn't. It looks like my first impressions was that it was just like a broken sprite, but I know it's not broken. It's just it feels like an unneeded detail. You should only have like that kind of twisting at the end there, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's a pretty good animation, pretty good concept, fairly fairly well executed, not the best well executed, but it is pretty good. It is really good. Let's go into beat 3. Not too bad, other than that little like hold on. That. I know it's kind of coming off of the last thing, but when you're coming to an Incredibox mod, you try to avoid stuff like that where the sound kind of creeps in at the beginning and also kind of messes up a little bit there because that just kind of looks out of whack when you're first dragging it onto there. Character design, again, kind of like the other two, not as complex as it usually would in a mod, but it's really good. It's a good sound. It's a good nice snare here. Let me hear the combos here. They work well. Yep. The nice kick and snare combo. And I like how it isn't just boring, so he adds a little bit of clicking, a little bit of clicks in there. But the animation
Fits well, good concept. Not my favorite animation. Not a big not the biggest fan of it, but I'd say it's a good animation. And if you're talking to the right person who is still like kind of critical, they'd probably say it's a good animation. It's just not my cup of tea. It's a good animation, just not my cup of tea. Let's go on to beat 4. Now this, when I saw this in the actual version along with beat 5, I was I was a little bit ecstatic cuz oh my god, is this a great concept? I had a concept kind of like this, but with like a sort of DJ like slide where you've got like that little bar. I'll have a reference image show up right now, but because I have it on my loop station, some of those, but like for this guy, but this was a beautiful concept and well executed. I, f- I think what would make it better if there were different colors on the squares, but seeing this animation, that would be really hard to pull off. So I wouldn't be, I don't really, I don't have a problem with them not doing it, but just a recommendation, if it's possible for you guys, I would try to put like different kind of like bluish colors, kind of make it more Rubik's Cubic-ish. But beautiful concept and beautiful execution of the animation. This is one of the best things I've ever seen in a mod. This one right here, beat 4. The sound fits and it works well in a mod. I think it could use a little bit less reverb, but it works really well. This has got to be my top 5 like full package like character design, animation, concept and everything. Like top 5 of all mods. It's great. Um and the character design for the shirt, other than the lack of color in the head, the shirt's pretty good. This one, really caught me off guard, but let's go on to beat 5. Another good concept. And this kind of has that break feel where it goes like, how it's at the end where it goes really hard. Another great concept, a little bit less in the design here. As I don't really like how the shirt looks. I think if you made it, I don't know. The shirt does not rowl with me, but I like the concept and I like the light switch concept. It's a really good concept, really good execution, and it also works well in a mix. This one, again, also exceeded my expectations. Um, Another great concept. I'm also gonna be saying a little bit early after I end the beat recording. This is also a really good concept that I'll talk about, when I get to it. But this was a great concept. Animation plus sound, they work well together. Um, I like how a great attention to detail to where when it goes down, it makes a certain noise, but when it goes up, it makes a different noise, but close. And it's always like that, if you know what I mean. But overall, Beats, beautiful job with these two. These 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 was pretty good, really good. These two were a little bit on the smaller side, but they're pretty good as well. Overall, Beats really good. Now on to effects. And if you saw that little crop change, it's because, how I mentioned at the beginning. So let's get into it. With the sound, it's a nice bass sound, but the problem is I don't like how after every little push, he like abruptly stops and then comes back again. Like, like I feel like it could be. I feel like that stop could be more clean. Like I don't know. I can't really describe it, but that stop seems a little bit unclean. Character design and yeah, character design's pretty good. Animation, other than that little shake, is a bit lacking. But not a too bad sound here. The shirt is pretty good. I like the character design. It's just that sound and frequency is really the problem with this one. Let's go into effect 2. Okay, with this one, I saw the video, I listened to all the sounds in the video that he posted. I like these other sound better. Like, mm, mm, like that one, I remember being incredibly shocked when I heard it. That was like, like, when I watched the video, probably one of my top 3 sounds in this mod, in this version here, probably even my favorite. Um, but I was kind of disappointed when I heard it in this when it was on mobile port and it wasn't the same, but it still sounds really good. Don't get me wrong. But you're kind of putting like two different kind of sounds here. That could be used as a melody, but you like we're not gonna get into that right now. You kind of took like two different kind of sounds and just trying to slap them together from two different categories. Like the first, that little part right there could have been included as like a beat or effect, and that part, the second part, like that, could be used as like a melody. You're just kind of slapping two things together to make a sound. The character design isn't too bad. I understand why they did a sound change. I believe because I'm pretty sure is because it would be easier to animate that sound that plays than rather than the other one. I just missed the last one. The last one sounded really good. But I'm also gonna comment on this. The thing is, I'm not gonna be angry like Artemy was when I saw that it was a work in progress, because I don't really care. I like the sound of it. That's really the big thing here, and the character design. The problem is when it's playing, it covers the entire character design. So the only time I can see it if I do something like this, and then I pull this guy up, and then I can see it nice and clear without it being dark. It's not a bad character design. It looks really good, and then I have to pause it, and then I just get a darker look here. That's my problem, because like I I would steer away from this like very abrupt and like a work in progress like that, and put like maybe WYP on his shirt or like over where the black stuff is. But covering the entire character design to where like I can't really, look at it. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that. But let's move on to melody. No, effect. Why do I keep on calling them melodies? Effect 3. Again, a great concept with the animation and also a bit of the sounds, but again, it's kind of like mashing a bunch of different kind of sounds together. Character design isn't bad, it's just not my cup of tea. Not the biggest, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's not a bad character design, and the character design fits well with the sound and animation. Character design's looking alright, and the animation's actually pretty good. The sound and animation work really well together, this one. And in mixes, this sound works really good in the mixes. That's all I gotta say about that one. Let's go on to effect 4. When am I gonna get it right? I have to get it right on effect 4. This one right here. This one just kind of sounds like a bunch of sounds compiled together. And I've never really been a big fan of like the kind of stuff on the head there. I'm not really sure why in mods, but I'm just not a big fan of that kind of character design. And I feel like it would have been better if just, well, I don't know. I guess it's fine. The shirt looks really good. It's just like that top part I'm not a big fan of. The animation works well, but it's just this guy probably isn't going to be in my mix. Not a top tier guy. Effect 5. Got it right. Mr. Toast Guy. And again, another great concept and a great execution, great animation. It's just these ideas that came to them is just good. I really like how they thought with these characters, thinking outside the box. But character design looks pretty good. The animation works really well. It's really good, has a good flow. The sound, especially having this kind of concept, works because when you like take a look at I'm just gonna say this for example, RB series, um, he includes like remember like that tombstone guy, um, where it like goes down and then screams. Like it's a good concept, but there's no musicality to it. It just doesn't fit very well. And then there's that also one guy like a whatever with that weird. It was also an effect that had that weird face thing to it, where his eyes would change. I don't know if I'll put a reference image up, reference image up again. That guy, again, zero musicality to it. It just doesn't sound good. But this had a concept of something that, baseline didn't have any musicality and made it musical. You can use this in a mix. I'm gonna use it in the mix. It's just good job. That was a really good job on their part. No problems with the effect. Okay, let's move on to melodies. Not a bad one. The concept for the animation is pretty good. The thing is with the sound, it is a really good sound, but I don't like this weird kind of like fade in on the second and fourth part. It sounds nice, but I'm kind of puts me off. Like I feel like it just breaks the flow of the sound. If it was a little less aggressive, where like you could hear the first note and then like the second one, if like that fade was a bit louder, like because I feel like the fade is a little too strong, where it's like, hold on, like you can barely hear the first note. I feel like if you could actually hear the note a little bit more and then like it got progressively louder, I feel like it'd sound better, but like nearly fully cutting that first note off of the second progression just doesn't sound very good. I mean, it sounds good, it just doesn't sound as clean as it would. But not too bad for Melody 1, Melody 2. Not a bad melody. Animation concept wasn't too bad. You can see that the mouth isn't moving. It's just like this weird part on like the mask. Character design, not too bad. Um, Sound pretty good. Yep, it's pretty good sound. Not too bad overall. And the animation has a good concept to it as well, with the color changing and white and whatnot. Lady 3. Another not bad sound. Um, Character design, not my thing. The sound is alright, it works with mixes, I just not the biggest fan of it directly. The animation with the eye thing here. For the most part stayed consistent, but in some parts it kind of fell off there. And the mouth animations rather fit alright with this. Let's go on the Melody 4. Sounds great, but I feel like that middle part there, the animation is a bit random. Yeah, it seems a little bit random there, because it goes from down, right, left, right, up, which I feel like there were too many notes, because I'm pretty sure you were trying a down, right, left, top, but you had a fifth sound in there, so you had to wave it in. I feel like if you had like the sound, like it would start at right, go down because the pitch goes down, like up and down, and with pitch. I think that'd be a little bit better, but character design, concept for the animation, and the sound is really good. It's just that one thing there. It's a bit random. Okay, for this one, um, sound is pretty good. I like that little touch at the end of every progression, but with the animation, when it comes up, it has so much playing and it only shows up for like the last little bit of it. If like it had a slower progression going through with like more to it, like that was barely anything. It goes straight to the top and down really fast. If there's a lot more like to it, like it was slower and a build up and a build down, like, well, not build down, but a slower build up where you can actually like, get a feel as it starts getting closer. But otherwise, that character design and animation concept was pretty good. It's just make it to where I feel like it'd be better if you made it to where it would slower, it would start rising and then fall after. Okay, let's move on to voices. So when it comes to voices, I'm not going to be commenting on their character designs um, or their animations because there are none. I will just be talking about the sound. So let's go.
I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle.
Not too bad. A little bit cliche with the whispering. Make not gonna make the statement that somebody claims whispering in a mod, but a little bit cliche to have like that kind of whisper effect. But to be fair, it gets the job done, so no shade. But for a concept of way it's done, it's not too bad. I see how they want to convey this guy. But not too bad of a voice. Can't really comment on much, but let's move on to voice 2. Okay, voice 2 creates a nice atmosphere, but the problem with trying to continue something onto the second line was that little cutoff from going to loop 1 to loop 2. What I feel like they should have tried to do was like slow it down, cut it off or something, like to where that it isn't so noticeable about that like little ooh ooh, cuz like if it goes ooh, ooh, if it fades out and then in, you can really avoid that, but when you're having a second loop and it does that, it just doesn't flow very well. But again, nice atmosphere, honestly one of the better like kind of like characters, choruses and whatnot. But not not too bad, honestly. It's a really good voice compared to like voices in Incredibox mods. That's like top 5 easy. Let's go to voice 3.
I am resilient. I will survive. I will resist. I won't.
Okay, sorry for cutting that last part off, but I like that touch of like a like that weird little electrical like I don't know how to describe it, like
Resign. I am.
at the very beginning of every single one, excluding like one that doesn't sound very nice because it's at the second loop, but it's a a push and then a voice. But I'm gonna be honest with these kind of voice line. Actually, no, I'll get into that in the voice form. Sorry about that, but it's not too bad. I like the robotic aspect,
Resist. I won't resign.
and it wasn't a bad concept when it comes to how like the lyrics, but not too bad honestly. Let's go into voice 4.
Can you feel the sun dripping on your skin? Deep white and real skin.
I like the voice until it's like deep, like I feel like, hold on.
Can you feel the sun dripping on your skin? Deep white and real skin.
if you didn't try to get that like that wavy movement, I think I would have liked it better at the first loop. I think I would have liked it way better if it didn't like try to get that wave kind of aspect to it, because the start was really strong, but then that thing kind of kills it for me.
Consciousness again. Can you feel the sun dripping on your skin? Deep white and real skin. Let it rest and sit. Let it feel the consciousness again.
Okay, so with this guy, I feel like when he tries to hit those high notes, it just doesn't sound. It just because I don't know, the person singing it, when it tries to hit those high notes, it just doesn't sound the best coming from me. And I do like the touch of there being a deeper voice that's a little harder to hear, that does not change tone at all. It's nice to have those kind of sounds when you're doing voices, to have this like almost zero tone shift, maybe one or two tone shifts in the back where it's like deeper and quieter. And but I'm gonna be honest with that, like him with the person singing this trying to hit a high note, it just kind of ruins it a little bit for me. And now let me talk about this. So for voices 1, 3, and 5, and 4, 1, 3, and 4 are all lyrical. In my opinion, the lyrics are you know, hold on.
I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle.
I am resilient. I will survive. I will resist. I won't resign.
Can you feel the sun dripping on your skin?
Okay. Those kind of like lyrical things that kind of sound like this are, this is my opinion, so if you have a different opinion, don't be mad. I feel like it's a little bit cringe to have like voices be like this, where they're like either saying, I don't know how to describe it, but to me it's a bit cringe. It works well for the Incredibox community, but just for me, it doesn't sit right with me. It just kind of sounds cringe, but it's not bad. It's just, to me, it sounds a little bit cringe. Let's go into voice 5. Honestly, beautiful concept. I really like all how this sounds, how it's switching up and down. I actually kind of, in one of my in one of the 42 editions, I kind of have a voice that does that, where it just kind of has this corruption, a little bit of corruption to it. But this sounds really cool, where it's just like your normal singing and then robotic effects and whatnot. Really, this is a really good voice. Again, near top 5, I'd say like maybe like top 7 at best, at least. Like this is a really good sound, beautiful sound. Okay, you know what? Let's go into the bonus. Bonus combo sounds sounds pretty good. But let's check out the bonus. I'm gonna be commenting on like this, obviously the mixing, a little less the actual animation. Great concept there. Love this remix.
Never settle. I will feel the pressure.
I like that. I like that voice. It sounded different.
I will never settle.
Not really sure what that ending was, but honestly, wasn't really paying too much attention to the animation, because I've said it before, I'm not the biggest fan of lore when it comes to bonuses. I feel like you should stick to how Incredibox did it before V8, where it's just like, random, like, just kind of stuff, like musical stuff, no lore. But not a bad bonus, but the remix. That was really good. That was a really good remix, honestly. I'm gonna only focus when it comes to bonuses. I'm only gonna focus on the remixes. That was a really good remix, honestly. It was very crisp, and in most of the time that was going through, my head was bobbing. That was a great bonus mix, top tier. But without further ado, let's get into the mix, and then after that, I'll conclude it with section ranking.
I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle. I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle. I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle. I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle. I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle. I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle. I will never settle. I will feel the pressure. I will never settle.
Jeez. Beautiful mixability, honestly. All these sounds work really well. I used, except for one effect that I wanted to use, but I just kind of didn't, and two voices. This is really good, honestly. This is top tier mod. let's get into section ranking. So fourth, gonna have to put voices. Voice 2 and Voice 5 are phenomenal, but the others, like Voice 1 is alright, is pretty good, and then Voice 3 and 4 kind of holds the section down, but not too bad. Third, we'll go to effects. Effect 5 and 3 are really dynamic and really work well in a mix. Obviously, you got the bass, which is needed. Effect 2 sounding better before mobile port, but that's my opinion. But overall, a really great effects lineup. But next up, second would be beats. Having great concepts and just beautiful mixability. These are, again, a great lineup of beats. But beats are always kind of down low because, well, they're beats. And it's really hard to compete against melodies when it, comes to it in the end. But obviously, first, melodies. Beautiful, beautiful melodies. Melody 1 having one small hiccup, but beautiful. They're all just great melodies. Now, before I end this video, Cold Steamer, I got a question. Which reviews do you find more useful? Artemis or mine? Okay. You don't have to answer that question, but just kind of a question I have. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might review Mechanic soon, but